The giant screens at Mission Control showed the alien ship approaching Earth orbit. Everyone in the room held their breath. This was humanity's first contact with beings from another world. Captain Susan Martinez stood tall despite her racing heart. As the leader of North America's space defense team, the president had chosen her to speak for all of Earth. She smoothed her uniform and waited for the transmission to begin. "They're hailing us," said the communications officer. The main screen flickered and revealed a tall, blue-skinned figure with 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern. Its mouth was small and lipless, and a series of ridges ran along its elongated skull. "People of Earth," the alien said in perfect English, "I am Ambassador Zex Toll of the Veldari Confederation. We come in peace and friendship." Susan stepped forward. "Ambassador, I am Captain Susan Martins of the United Earth Defense Initiative. We welcome you to our solar system." Over the next week, the Veldari shared stories of a vast, peaceful galactic community. They spoke of incredible technologies, flourishing trade, and cosmic wonders beyond human imagination. World leaders were excited. Scientists were ecstatic. Everyone believed this was the beginning of a new golden age for humanity. Alan Morgan watched all this with narrowed eyes. As the Navy's top engineer, he had been called in to evaluate the technological exchange the Veldari had promised. Alan had spent 20 years building spaceships and weapons systems. His gut told him something wasn't right about these aliens. "Captain Martinez," Ambassador Zex Toll announced during the 5th day of meetings, "as a gesture of goodwill, the Veldari Confederation wishes to share some of our technology with Earth." The room erupted in applause. Earth's representatives had hoped for this moment. However, the ambassador continued once the noise died down. "We must be responsible. Your civilization is young. We cannot give you our most advanced systems. That would be like giving a child a fusion reactor." Some officials frowned at being compared to children, but most nodded in understanding. The next day, crates of alien technology arrived at the newly established exchange center. Alan and his team eagerly opened them, expecting wonders beyond human understanding. What they found looked like junk. "This can't be right," said Alan, holding up what appeared to be a primitive power cell. "Our own batteries are more efficient than this." All around the warehouse, scientists and engineers made similar discoveries. The propulsion systems were barely better than current human rockets. The communication devices were limited to near-Earth range. The materials seemed strong, but nothing revolutionary. When Captain Martinez confronted Ambassador Zex Toll, the alien simply smiled his thin smile. "These technologies are appropriate for your developmental stage," he said. "You must learn to walk before you can run among the stars. In time, as you prove your maturity, more will be shared." That evening, Alan sat alone in his lab, examining a piece of the alien hull material. On the surface, it was unremarkable, just slightly stronger than Earth's best alloys. But something about its molecular structure bothered him. He ran a deeper scan and found strange quantum fluctuations that made no sense for such a simple material. He tested a sample of the alien power cell and found similar anomalies. "They're hiding something," he muttered. Alan worked through the night. 6 months passed since the Veldari first arrived. The world's governments had joined together to form the United Earth Defense Initiative, or UEDI for short. Their main goal was to study the alien technology and strengthen Earth's defenses, just in case the friendly aliens weren't so friendly after all. Alan Morgan stared out the window of the shuttle as it approached the Lunar Naval Yard. The massive facility had been built on the far side of the moon, hidden from Earth, and more importantly, from the Veldari visitors who now had an embassy in New York. "First time to the moon?" asked Dr. Olivia Wright, the quantum physicist sitting beside him. Alan nodded. "Hard to believe we built all this in just 6 months." "Fear is a powerful motivator," Olivia said quietly. The shuttle docked at the lunar base, and Alan followed Olivia through the airlock. They were met by General Harris, the commander of the secret facility. "Welcome to Project Phoenix," the general said. Follow me." They walked through long corridors carved into the moon's surface until they reached a massive chamber. Inside was what looked like the beginnings of a spaceship, surrounded by engineers and scientists. "This is why you're here," General Harris said. "We're building a warship using the Veldari tech, but we need your help to unlock its true potential." Alan spent the next few weeks working closely with Olivia. She understood the quantum properties of the alien materials in ways that made his head spin. Together, they discovered that when certain pieces were arranged in specific patterns, they behaved completely differently than when tested alone. "It's like they're meant to be puzzles," Olivia said one day. "The Veldari gave us all the pieces but didn't tell us how to put them together. Or they gave us the pieces but scrambled the picture on purpose," Alan replied. One night, while testing different configurations of the power cells, they had a breakthrough. By connecting 3 cells in a triangle pattern and running current through them in a specific sequence, they created an energy output 50 times greater than what the Veldari had claimed was possible. "This isn't junk technology," Alan said, staring at the readings. "This is advanced tech that's been deliberately dumbed down." The next day, Jack Donovan from Intelligence brought more disturbing news. "We've intercepted communications between the Veldari ship and their home world," he told them. "Our linguists are still working on a full translation, but certain words keep appearing: harvest, resources, and colonization." As if confirming their fears, the Veldari returned that same week with a new proposal. Ambassador Zex Toll addressed the United Nations, offering a protection treaty that would give the Veldari control over much of Earth's mining operations in exchange for security guarantees. "They're not allies," Jack said during an emergency meeting at the lunar base. "They're scouts for an invasion force." General Harris looked grim. "How's the Phoenix coming along?" "We've made progress," Alan said, "but we're still months away from completion. The good news is that every piece of junk they gave us is actually incredibly advanced technology. We just need to figure out how to activate it properly." Olivia added, "We believe the Veldari deliberately designed these components to appear useless if tested in conventional ways. They never expected us to discover the quantum resonance patterns that unlock their true capabilities." "Then we continue as planned," the general decided. "Project Phoenix is now our top priority. We'll give Earth a fighting chance by turning their junk into the deadliest warship humans have ever built." As the meeting ended, Alan returned to the main construction bay. The ship was taking shape, sleek and deadly, unlike any vessel Earth had designed before. Using the secrets they'd unlocked, the propulsion system would be 10 times faster than anything in Earth's fleet. The weapons systems, still being designed, might be able to penetrate Veldari shields. Looking at the emerging warship, Alan felt a mix of pride and fear. The Veldari had given them junk, thinking humans would never unlock its potential. That mistake might cost the aliens dearly. The lunar naval yard buzzed with activity. 3 months had passed since Alan and Olivia's breakthrough. Project Phoenix was moving forward faster than anyone had expected. The ship was taking shape in the giant construction bay, its hull gleaming under the harsh lights. Alan wiped sweat from his forehead as he reconfigured the engine room. His team had learned that the Veldari propulsion system could be modified to produce 3 times more power than its original specs. The trick was in how the components were connected. "Try it now," Alan called to his assistant. The engine hummed to life, its blue glow filling the chamber. The energy readings climbed steadily on the monitor. 300% efficiency, the assistant said with a whistle. The Veldari said these engines could barely reach orbit. Alan smiled. They lied about everything. In another part of the ship, Dr. Olivia Wright worked on the weapons systems. By reconfiguring what the Veldari had claimed were simple mining lasers, she had created weapons powerful enough to punch through conventional shields. "The quantum resonance is stable," she told her team. "If my calculations are correct, these will be effective against Veldari defenses." Nearby, Dr. Luis Ortega connected neural interfaces to the ship's computer core. He had designed an AI system that could predict battle scenarios and react faster than human pilots. The Velderi gave us what they called basic computing modules, Louis explained to Commander Diane Foster, who had recently arrived to take command of the Phoenix, but they're actually advanced quantum processors. Commander Foster walked through the ship, inspecting every detail. She had been handpicked to captain the vessel when it was completed. A 20-year veteran of space operations, she was known for thinking outside the box. "How soon until we can launch?" she asked Alan. "2 more months, minimum," he replied. "We're still figuring out some of the systems." "We may not have 2 months," Jack Donovan said, joining them. "Intelligence suggests the Velderi are getting suspicious about our lack of progress reports. They expected us to build primitive ships with their junk, not discover its true potential." As if to confirm Jack's warning, the Velderi sent a delegation to the moon the very next day. 3 tall aliens in environmental suits toured the facility, escorted by General Harris. Alan and his team scrambled to hide their most important discoveries. "This is your prototype?" Ambassador Zextol asked, looking at the Phoenix with what seemed like concern. "Just a defense vessel," General Harris said casually. "Nothing special." The alien ran a scanner over the hull. "Interesting design choices. Quite creative for your species." Alan couldn't tell if the alien was impressed or worried. The Velderi left after a brief inspection, seemingly satisfied that the humans were still playing with toys. "They suspect something," Olivia said after they were gone. "They wouldn't have come all this way just for a casual visit." That night, the team worked with renewed urgency. Louis integrated the final elements of his AI system. Olivia calibrated the weapons array. Alan fine-tuned the engines for maximum performance. "We've done in 3 months what should have taken years," Alan told Commander Foster as they reviewed the ship's specifications. "Every piece of junk they gave us has been transformed into cutting-edge technology." Commander Foster studied the holographic display of the Phoenix. The ship was sleek and deadly, unlike anything humans had built before. "Will it be enough?" she asked quietly. Before Alan could answer, alarms blared throughout the base. Jack Donovan rushed into the command center, his face pale. "The Velderi fleet just jumped into our solar system," he announced. 7 warships heading toward Earth. They're no longer pretending to be friendly. General Harris looked at the Phoenix, still missing key components, and with systems at only 70% completion. "How soon can it fly?" he asked Alan. Alan exchanged glances with Olivia and Louis. 24 hours, if we work nonstop. It won't be pretty, but she'll fly." Commander Foster straightened her uniform. "Then we have work to do. The Phoenix launches in 24 hours, ready or not." As the team rushed to prepare the ship for early launch, Alan couldn't help but smile grimly. The Velderi had given humanity junk, expecting gratitude. Instead, they had created their own worst nightmare, a warship built by humans who had discovered the truth behind the alien deception. The main screen in the Lunar Base Command Center showed the Velderi fleet approaching Earth. 7 massive warships, each 10 times larger than anything humans had built, moved in perfect formation. Their sleek, blue-black hulls absorbed light rather than reflected it. "They're hailing all Earth frequencies," Jack Donovan reported. The screen changed to show a Velderi face. Unlike Ambassador Zextol's friendly expression, this alien's 4 eyes were cold and calculating. "People of Earth," the alien said, "I am War Admiral Xev Care of the Velderi Expansion Fleet. Your planet has resources we require. Submit to our authority, and your people will be allowed to live as our servants. Resist, and we will turn your oceans to steam." General Harris looked grim. "How do we respond to that?" "We don't," Commander Foster said. "Not with words, anyway." In the construction bay, Alan and his team worked frantically to prepare the Phoenix for launch. The ship wasn't ready. Key systems were still being installed. Weapons were only partially calibrated. But they had no choice. "The main shield generator is only at 60%, Olivia reported, her fingers flying over the control panels. The engines are stable, but I can't guarantee they'll hold under combat stress," Alan added as he connected the last power coupling. Luis Ortega looked up from the AI core. "The navigation system is online, but the battle prediction algorithms are still learning." Commander Foster nodded. "It will have to do. We launch in 30 minutes. Against all regulations and common sense, Alan, Olivia, and Luis joined the crew for the maiden voyage. They were civilians, but they knew the Phoenix better than anyone. If systems failed during battle, they would be needed. "This is crazy," Alan said as he strapped into a seat in engineering. "We're taking an untested prototype against 7 alien warships." Olivia managed a tight smile from her weapons station. "At least we won't die wondering if our theories were correct." The countdown proceeded quickly. The Phoenix was powered up, its systems coming online one by one. The ship hummed with energy, the modified Velderi technology working far beyond its supposed capabilities. "All personnel, prepare for launch," Commander Foster announced from the bridge. "This is not a drill. We are engaging the hostile force. Earth's survival depends on us." The massive doors of the lunar construction bay slid open, revealing the blackness of space. In the distance, Earth shone like a blue jewel. "Launch," Foster ordered. The Phoenix rose smoothly from its cradle. The engines, modified by Alan's team, pushed the ship forward with barely a tremor. As they cleared the moon's gravity, Foster ordered full power. The ship leaped forward at incredible speed, crossing the distance to Earth's orbit in minutes rather than hours. "The Velderi have spotted us," Jack reported from his tactical station. "They're scanning us, but seemed confused about our configuration." On the main view screen, they could see the alien fleet. The massive ships had taken positions around Earth, their weapons primed and ready to fire. "They're hailing us," Jack said. War Admiral Sevker's face appeared on screen. For a moment, the aliens seemed surprised to see a human ship approaching. "What is this?" Sevker demanded. "A single vessel. Your species truly is primitive if you think one small ship can stand against our fleet." Commander Foster stood tall. "This is Commander Diane Foster of the Earth Defense Ship Phoenix. We reject your demands and order you to leave our solar system immediately." The alien's face showed an emotion that might have been amusement. "You have courage, human. Misplaced, but admirable. I will allow you to witness the beginning of your world's conquest before I destroy your pathetic vessel." Sevker turned to someone off-screen and gave an order. A moment later, one of the smaller Velderi ships broke formation and headed toward the Phoenix. "They're sending a light cruiser to deal with us," Jack said. "They don't consider us a serious threat." Commander Foster smiled grimly. "That's their first mistake. Battle stations, everyone. Let's show them what humans can do with their junk." The Phoenix's modified engines flared blue as Foster ordered them to full power. The ship accelerated toward the approaching Velderi cruiser, about to reveal what happened when humans were underestimated. The Velderi cruiser grew larger on the view screen as the Phoenix raced toward it. The alien ship was 5 times their size, its weapons ports glowing with energy. "They're charging weapons," Jack announced from the tactical station. Commander Foster remained calm. "Activate adaptive camouflage." Luis tapped commands into his console. The Phoenix shimmered and seemed to shrink on the outside, while remaining the same size inside. This was one of the most surprising discoveries they had made. The Velderi hull plating could bend light around the ship, hiding its true size and shape. "Camouflage active," Luis confirmed. "To their sensors, we now look like a small transport vessel." On the screen, they could see the Velderi cruiser adjusting its approach. The aliens clearly didn't see the Phoenix as a threat. "Their weapons are powering down," Jack reported. "They're not even bothering to shoot at us." Commander Foster smiled. "Perfect. Alan, give me full power to engines. Olivia, charge the main weapons array, but keep it hidden." The Phoenix shot forward with sudden speed that surprised even its crew. The Velderi ship tried to adjust its course, but the human vessel was already underneath it. "Now, Olivia," Foster ordered. The weapons that Olivia had modified from mining lasers fired upward. Beams of intense blue energy struck the Velderi cruiser's underbelly. The alien ship's shields flared and failed in seconds. "Direct hit," Olivia shouted. Their shields weren't configured to stop our modified weapons. The cruiser tried to turn and bring its main guns to bear on the Phoenix, but the human ship was too fast, dancing around the larger vessel with incredible speed and agility. "They're calling for help," Jack said, listening to the alien communications. "The other ships are turning to assist." War Admiral HFY Kerr's face appeared on the screen again. His 4 eyes were wide with shock. "What trickery is this?" he demanded. "That vessel, those weapons, those are not yours." "Actually, they are," Commander Foster replied calmly, "just slightly modified." HFY Kerr's expression changed to one of fury. "Destroy that ship," he ordered someone off-screen. 2 more Velderi vessels broke formation and headed toward the Phoenix. These were destroyer-class ships, larger and more powerful than the cruiser. "They're not underestimating us anymore," Alan said from his engineering station. "Both destroyers have full shields and weapons hot." Commander Foster turned to Lewis. "Time to try your AI battle system." Lewis activated the system he had developed using the Velderi basic computing modules. The AI analyzed the approaching destroyers and predicted their attack patterns. "Suggested evasion course uploaded to navigation," Lewis announced. "The AI says we should use Earth's magnetic field to confuse their sensors." Foster nodded. "Do it." The Phoenix dove toward Earth, the 2 Velderi destroyers in pursuit. As they entered the upper atmosphere, the human ship skimmed along the planet's magnetic field lines, using them to partially mask their position. The first destroyer fired a barrage of energy torpedoes. Most missed, but one grazed the Phoenix's rear shields. "Shield holding at 80%, Alan reported. "The modifications are working." The Phoenix suddenly reversed course, shooting up and over one of the destroyers. Olivia fired their weapons directly at the alien ship's engine section. The destroyer's shields failed under the precise attack, and the vessel began to drift. "One down," Jack shouted. The second destroyer launched fighters, small, fast attack craft that swarmed toward the Phoenix. "Multiple targets approaching," Olivia warned. "I've got this," Alan said. He had modified the Velderi point defense system, which they had claimed was for clearing space debris. With a few adjustments, it became a highly effective anti-fighter weapon. Small energy pulses shot out from the Phoenix in all directions. The Velderi fighters tried to evade, but many were hit. Those that survived pulled back. On the main view screen, they could see the remaining Velderi ships regrouping. 5 vessels, including HFY Kerr's flagship, formed a new attack pattern. "They're taking us seriously now," Commander Foster said. "Good. Phase 1 complete. We've shown them we're not helpless. Now for Phase 2. The Phoenix turned toward the main Velderi fleet, its engines glowing brighter than before. The battle for Earth had only just begun, but humanity had drawn first blood. War Admiral HFY Kerr stared at the small human ship on his view screen. His 4 eyes narrowed with rage. 2 of his vessels were damaged, and a third was having trouble with its targeting systems after the Phoenix had somehow interfered with its sensors. "Impossible," he hissed. "They are using our technology against us." On the Phoenix, the crew watched as the remaining Velderi ships formed a new attack pattern. The 5 alien vessels spread out, trying to surround them. "Full power to forward shields," Commander Foster ordered. "They're going to try to box us in." Ellen frowned at his engineering console. "We have a problem. The main power couplings are overheating. We pushed them too hard in that last maneuver." "How long can we keep fighting?" Foster asked. "Maybe 20 minutes at full power," Ellen replied. "After that, we'll need to reduce output or risk a complete system failure." Louis had an idea. What if we link the secondary power grid through the quantum buffer? It's not how the Veldari designed it to work, but do it, Alan said. It might buy us more time. As they worked, the Phoenix continued to evade the Veldari ships. Olivia used the weapons systems to keep the aliens at a distance, while Foster executed evasive maneuvers that should have been impossible for a ship of their size. Earth's conventional forces are launching, Jack announced. All military vessels and defense platforms are moving to engage. On the screen, they saw dozens of human ships rising from Earth. They were small and primitive compared to the Veldari fleet, but there were many of them. They'll be slaughtered, Olivia said quietly. Not if we help them, Foster replied. Send them our tactical data on Veldari shield frequencies. Show them where to hit the alien ships. While Jack transmitted the data, Alan and Lewis completed their power system modifications. The Phoenix's engines surged with new energy. Power levels stabilize, Alan reported. We've got full capacity again. Good, Foster said, because here they come. HFY's flagship broke away from the others and headed straight for the Phoenix. It was a massive vessel, easily 20 times larger than the human ship. Energy built up around its forward weapons array. Evasive maneuvers, Foster ordered. The Phoenix turned sharply, but not fast enough. A beam of intense white energy struck their port side. The ship shuddered violently. Sparks flew from several consoles. Olivia was thrown from her seat, striking her head against a bulkhead. Port shields down to 20%, Alan called out. 2 subsystems offline. Foster helped Olivia back to her station. Blood trickled from a cut on the physicist's forehead, but she waved away assistance. I'm fine, she insisted. We need to stay in the fight. Around them, Earth's conventional forces engaged the Veldari fleet. Using the data from the Phoenix, they concentrated their fire on the weak points of the alien shields. While individually weak, their combined firepower began to have an effect. The Veldari are splitting their attention, Jack reported. 3 ships are breaking off to deal with Earth's forces. On the main screen, they saw HFY's flagship turning for another attack run on the Phoenix. This time, additional weapons ports opened along its hull. He's preparing to fire everything at us, Jack said grimly. Lewis studied his console. The AI has been analyzing their attack patterns. There's a 3-second vulnerability when they redirect power from shields to weapons. Foster nodded. That's our window. Olivia, target their main power core. Alan, give me everything the engines have. We're going straight at them. Straight at their flagship. Alan asked in disbelief. That's suicide. Not if we time it perfectly, Foster replied. Lewis set the AI to calculate the exact moment their shields will weaken. The Phoenix turned and accelerated toward the massive Veldari flagship. The distance between them closed rapidly. They're powering weapons, Jack reported, tension in his voice. 5 seconds to firing range. Stay on course, Foster ordered calmly. The flagship's weapons began to glow with building energy. 3 seconds, Jack counted down. 2, 1. Now, Foster commanded. The Phoenix suddenly accelerated to maximum speed, its modified engines pushing far beyond what the Veldari had intended. At the same instant, Olivia fired all weapons directly at the flagship's momentarily weakened shields. The human ship shot past the massive alien vessel, its weapons leaving a trail of damage along the flagship's hull. For a moment, nothing happened. Then explosions bloomed along the Veldari ship's side. Direct hit, Olivia shouted. We've damaged their main power grid. The Veldari flagship drifted in space, trailing debris and venting atmosphere from multiple hull breaches. The Phoenix had done what seemed impossible, crippled the massive alien vessel with a single, perfectly timed attack. Their main power is offline, Jack reported, his voice filled with disbelief. They're operating on emergency systems only. Commander Foster didn't waste time celebrating. Target their communication array. If we can cut off HFY from the rest of his fleet, It might create enough confusion for Earth's forces to gain an advantage. Olivia, still bleeding from her head wound, locked weapons on the flagship's external communications system. The Phoenix fired again, and the target exploded in a shower of sparks and metal. Communications destroyed, she confirmed. On the tactical display, they watched as the remaining Veldari ships hesitated, seemingly unsure what to do without orders from their commander. Earth's forces are pressing the attack, Jack said. 2 more alien ships are taking heavy damage. Lewis studied his console. The AI has found a pattern in the Veldari shield harmonics. If we reconfigure our weapons to this frequency, we might be able to create a temporary corridor through their defenses. Alan looked up from his engineering station. A corridor? You mean like a tunnel? Exactly, Lewis replied. A quantum tunnel through their shields. Foster understood immediately. We could board the flagship. Board them? With what troops? Alan asked. Us, Foster said simply. If we can capture HFY, we might be able to end this war before it truly begins. It was a desperate plan, but they had no better options. The Phoenix's weapons were depleting, and despite their success, they were still outnumbered. Lewis programmed the weapons to the new frequency while Alan prepared the boarding equipment, space suits designed from modified Veldari environmental systems. Foster selected a small team. Herself, Jack, and 2 security officers. I'm coming too, Alan insisted. You'll need someone who understands their technology. Foster nodded. Olivia, you have the bridge. Keep the Phoenix safe and be ready for emergency extraction. The Phoenix moved alongside the crippled flagship, its modified weapons creating a strange rippling effect in the Veldari shields. For a brief moment, a corridor of normal space appeared within the energy field. Go now, Olivia ordered. The boarding team launched from the Phoenix, using small propulsion units to guide themselves through the temporary gap in the shields. They reached the flagship's hull and used cutting tools to create an entrance. Inside the alien vessel, they encountered minimal resistance. Most of the Veldari crew was busy with emergency repairs. Those who did challenge them were quickly subdued with stun weapons that Alan had modified from Veldari medical scanners. They fought their way to the bridge, where they found War Admiral HFY attempting to restore ship functions. It's over, Admiral, Commander Foster said, training her weapon on the alien leader. HFY turned, his 4 eyes widening in shock at the sight of humans on his bridge. Impossible, he hissed. How did you board my ship? The same way we built the Phoenix, Alan replied. By understanding your technology better than you thought we could. Jack took control of the communication system. We're broadcasting to all Veldari ships and Earth forces, he reported. Foster stepped forward. This is Commander Diane Foster of Earth. War Admiral HFY is our prisoner. All Veldari vessels are ordered to stand down immediately or face destruction. For several tense moments, nothing happened. Then, one by one, the alien ships powered down their weapons. Alan accessed the flagship's main computer. I'm sending a message to the wider galactic community, he said. The Veldari violated their own Federation's laws by attacking the developing world. As if in response, new ships appeared at the edge of the solar system. These were unlike the Veldari vessels, sleeker, more elegant, and clearly even more advanced. We're being hailed, Jack said. It's the actual Galactic Council. A new alien face appeared on screen, this one with softer features, and 6 eyes arranged in a circle. People of Earth, the new alien said, I am High Counselor Zentora of the Galactic Federation. We received your distress call and evidence of Veldari aggression. Their actions are unauthorized and illegal under our laws. HFY slumped in defeat. The High Counselor continued. The Veldari are known scavengers who prey on developing worlds. They offer seemingly primitive technology, hoping species will not discover its true potential. You have done what few others have managed. You saw through their deception and turned their own methods against them.